The sound of screeching tires is something you never forget. One minute, I was humming along to the radio, thinking about what to make for dinner. The next, my world was a symphony of shattering glass and crunching metal. I remember a blinding white light, the smell of burnt rubber. And then, nothing. I woke up in a hospital bed, a dull, throbbing pain radiating through my entire body. My arm was in a cast, my head was wrapped in bandages, and a friendly-faced nurse was checking my vitals. She told me I'd been in a serious accident but that I was lucky to be alive. Lucky? It didn't feel very lucky right then. My phone was on the bedside table, its screen miraculously intact. As my fingers fumbled to unlock it, a flood of notifications poured in. Most were from my family group chat, innocently named Family Fun. I opened it, expecting messages of concern, maybe a few, "Are you okay?" texts. What I saw instead made my blood run cold. My cousin, let's call her Sarah, had posted a photo. It was a picture of me, unconscious, slumped over in the driver's seat of my mangled car. Blood was trickling down my face. It was a horrific, invasive photo taken at the scene of the accident. My heart hammered against my ribs. Who would do this? Why would they share it? Underneath the photo, the messages started. My aunt, Sarah's mom, wrote, "Oh my goodness, is she all right?" A few other relatives chimed in with similar sentiments. But then, the conversation took a sharp, unbelievable turn. Sarah replied, "She's at the hospital now, but look at the car. It's completely totaled." She was probably texting and driving again. My jaw dropped. Again, I had never, not once, texted while driving. It was a rule I lived by. The accusation was not only false, but it was also incredibly cruel to make while I was lying in a hospital bed. My other cousin, Mark, jumped in. Classic her, always so careless. I bet her insurance rates are going to skyrocket. I felt a wave of nausea that had nothing to do with my injuries. These were the people who were supposed to love me, to support me. Instead, they were gossiping, speculating, and judging me based on a photo that should never have been taken, let alone shared. It was like watching vultures circle. I scrolled further, my hands shaking. The conversation devolved into a debate about my driving habits, my supposed irresponsibility, and even a few comments about how this would finally teach me a lesson. A lesson? For what? For being the victim of a driver who ran a red light. The police report would later confirm this, but in that moment, in that group chat, I was already tried and convicted by my own family. The most painful part was the silence from my parents. They were in the chat, they could see everything being said, but there were no messages from them defending me. No, let's wait until we know the facts. No, this is inappropriate. Just silence. It felt like a betrayal deeper than any of the nasty comments. Were they embarrassed by me? Did they believe the lies? I felt so utterly alone, surrounded by the beeping machines of the hospital room, the sterile white walls closing in on me. The physical pain from the crash was nothing compared to the emotional agony of reading those messages. I wanted to scream, to type back a furious reply, to expose their hypocrisy. But what was the point? The damage was done. They had shown their true colors. Instead of lashing out, I took a deep breath, held my finger over Sarah's name, and hit the block button. Then Mark. Then my aunt. One by one, I started building a wall to protect myself from their toxicity. It was a small act of defiance, but it felt powerful. It felt like taking back a tiny piece of control in a situation where I had none. A few hours later, my parents finally walked into my hospital room. Their faces were etched with worry, but there was something else there too, a hint of shame. "We came as soon as we could," my dad said, his voice quiet. My mom just stood there, wringing her hands. "I saw the group chat," I said, my voice hoarse. My mom flinched. "Honey, we didn't know what to say. It all happened so fast. You could have said something," I whispered. "You could have told them to stop. You could have defended me." My dad sighed, running a hand through his hair. "You're right. We should have. We're so sorry." Their apology felt hollow, too little, too late. The words had already been said, the judgments had been cast. I knew my relationship with my extended family would never be the same. The accident had broken more than just my bones and my car. It had shattered the illusion of a happy, supportive family. But as I lay there, I also felt a strange sense of clarity. The crash had stripped away all the pretense and revealed the truth. It showed me who I could truly count on and who was just there for the drama. In the weeks that followed, my recovery was slow and arduous. Physical therapy was a grind, and the phantom pains were relentless, but the emotional healing was even harder. I left the family group chat permanently. I didn't announce it, I just disappeared. Some relatives reached out individually, offering half-hearted apologies or trying to pretend nothing happened. I ignored them. I focused on myself, on my healing. I leaned on the few friends who had shown me genuine compassion, the ones who brought me meals, sat with me in silence, and never once asked, "So, what really happened?" This whole ordeal taught me a valuable, if painful, lesson. Sometimes the people you share blood with aren't your real family. Family are the people who lift you up when you're at your lowest, who defend your honor when you can't, and who show up with kindness, not a camera, in a crisis. The accident was a traumatic event, but it was also a filter. It filtered out the negativity and toxicity I didn't even realize I was surrounded by. It was a brutal, painful reset, but in a way, it was a necessary one. It cleared the path for me to build a new life, surrounded by people who truly deserve a place in it. It's a long road to recovery, both physically and emotionally, but for the first time, I feel like I'm driving in the right direction. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, remember that your peace is worth protecting. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.